this is Dr. Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm in San Jose at the Search Engine Strategies Conference here with Stephan Spencer, who's an expert in search marketing of all kinds. Today we're going to talk about do-it-yourself search engine optimization.
Okay.
What can a website owner, a merchant, whatever, do themselves in the area of search engine optimization? And when do they need to call in the professionals? So I suppose we start this whole thing with keyword research. What does that look like?
Right, so you don't need any technical acumen or web page building tools or expertise to do this part of the process. You just need to know which words are the right words to use, the words that people are searching for. So, for example, in the industry, let's say that you're a department store chain, you might have kitchen electrics as a category. And nobody's going to search for that. I've never heard anybody use that in a sentence, right? So we need to change that to something that is more aligned with what people are actually using in the real world. So
how do you find that out?
You use tools like, there's some free tools from Google. There's the Google AdWords keyword sandbox, keyword tool. There's Google Trends. There's Google Insights for search. These are all free tools. There are some paid tools like KeywordDiscovery.com and WordTracker.com.
These help you look at what's actually being searched on, what phrases are being used,
right,
so that you can put those phrases into your copy, into your titles.
Right, and you might find that a misspelling is extremely popular. Like if you're selling stationery, people misspell it a lot, right? So the ARY when they're talking about letterhead and so forth. Another one is accommodation. You know, folks putting one M instead of two.
So you find the keywords, what's next?
Right, so then you got to weave that into your copy. So that's the content optimization piece. So starting at the top of your site tree and working your way down, you want to start with, let's say, the category level, and then subcategory, and all the way down to, let's say, product pages or article pages. Let's say that you're going after small appliances as a keyword.
Okay.
So that would probably be at a category level or subcategory level, and you want to make sure that there is at least one occurrence of that phrase that you're going after in the copy of the page. You want to make sure it's in the title, the page title or title tag. Ideally, if you have a headline or heading, that would go in there as well. So you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to stuff keywords all over the place and hide them and so forth. That's not good.
But you want to sprinkle clues around.
Right. You want to send a clear signal to Google that this is really the keyword theme or keyword focus of the page.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you can't get into the HTML, that's pretty much where you have to stop doing it yourself. But if you do have the ability to get into the HTML, what else can you do?
Right, so you can make sure that the right sort of HTML tags are in place. For example, if you have a headline or a heading on all your pages, and that headline is not an H1 tag or H2, something that is recognized by Google as being a headline. Maybe it's a font tag, font size +2, and then it's set to red or whatever. Well, that's a problem because Google can't figure out that that's really important. That's a heading. So that you go into the template, the coding in your web page and fix that to be an H1 instead, and then you'd go to another part of the page or another file, a CSS file, and change it to make it red and make it font size of 2 sizes big or whatever.
So make sure it's H1, 2, 3 or whatever for the headline, and then do your fancy stuff in the cascading style sheet.
Exactly.
Now, one thing I've seen a lot is titles. Since they don't show up in the actual web page itself, a lot of times people neglect them. But if you can get into the HTML, you can change that title to include keywords, for example.
Right. Right, so the title tag is actually the most important element on the page.
Yes.
It's given the most weight by the search engines.
I agree with you, yeah.
Right, so if you start that title tag with the keywords that you're targeting, you're going to do much better than if it's at the end. And of course, if you don't have the keywords at all in that title tag, you're probably not going to rank, not well. So what you need to make sure you're doing is working in those keywords into the title tag and actually focusing on that first, making sure that your keyword focus and the title tag are closely aligned, and to then go on to things like the H1 tags and the body copy and so forth.
Now, a description meta tag, how important is that?
Well,
the whole scheme of things here.
It's actually a useful thing to do, but it's not going to improve your rankings. It's, meta tags do not improve rankings. It's something that is a myth still out there.
Okay.
What it can do, though, is it can allow you to influence the snippet that's displayed in the search listing. So underneath the title tag, right? So that's another important thing about the title tag, is it's used in the search listing.
Right.
And that's the first thing somebody's going to look at when they decide whether to click or not.
I think if somebody who's a site owner or merchant goes through and is careful to change all of the titles of all the pages in their website, they're going to have 50-60% of the work done right there, because it's so important.
Right. Well, one thing that is perhaps interesting for your viewers to know is if they're running WordPress, if they're running blog or website on the WordPress software, I've actually got a title tag plugin for WordPress that allows you to decouple the title tag from the name of the post or the name of the category, so you can actually work in those synonyms and perhaps even misspellings or whatever. If you're, I wouldn't put every misspelling under the sun into the title tag, but if you're dealing with stationery, and I mean, how do you do that? Like at ABC Stationery Company, we're not stationary when it comes to stationery or something like that, right? So
that's kind of
be clever or whatever, but
clever is one word for that.
Yeah, right.
Hokey is another.
Perhaps,
hey,
yes.
You know what, Stephan? This is great content, but I think we need to break and do part 2 of this video so we don't stretch people's attention time.
Right.
But before we do that, tell me about your business and what you do.
Right, so Net Concepts is an SEO firm, and we do search engine optimization for mid to large size companies, and we have a technology platform called Gravity Stream that allows us to do an end run around IT when you can't get stuff done, right? Okay. So we can just implement all sorts of things without the major invasive surgery usually required to fix a large e-commerce site.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing with us, and see part 2 of this video. This is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing.